Good, happy Monday afternoon, May 18, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday afternoon, so let's begin. First up, COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. Let's take a look. And here's a look at that COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. There are 3,596 number of people who have been tested positive in New Hampshire. 1,486,423 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 172 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 359 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 89,562 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are in towns and cities of New Hampshire. Manchester, 538. And this map of New Hampshire shows you where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 832. And now let's take a look at these charts here. The first chart right here, new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red, deaths. This chart here, current cases. In the purple, current COVID-19 cases, and in the orange, current hospitalizations. In this chart here, total cases. In the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. In the red, deaths. And in the blue, recovered. This chart here shows you by age group. This chart here shows you by female and male. This chart here shows you risk information. This chart here shows you race/ethnicity of cases. This chart here shows you hospitalization. This chart here shows you deaths. And this chart here shows you percent of New Hampshire population. Your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. Be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Manchester Police. Man threatened to stab clerk who wouldn't sell alcohol after hours. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When you cut lawns for a living, reliability matters. The Kubota commercial lineup with purpose-built mowers like this.
Right now, Manchester police are looking for this man who is accused of stealing alcohol from the Rite Aid on McGregor Street. Police say he threatened to stab an employee when he learned he couldn't buy alcohol at that time of night. Police say although no weapon was shown, the man did get away with some stolen beverages. He's described as a white male in his mid-20s, about 5 feet 6 inches tall. He was last seen with 2 18-packs of Twisted Tea.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Ready to reopen? Governor Charlie Baker of Massachusetts reveals roadmap for getting Massachusetts back to work. If you want to watch that press conference and press briefing, you can just go to WCVB.com and watch that. Each of the 4 phases expected to last a minimum of 3 weeks, the governor says. Restaurants in 12 Maine counties can now open for dine-in customers. Restaurants still face restrictions concerning distancing and sanitation. Let's take a listen to that video from WNTW News 8 Maine.
Maine counties are starting to reopen this morning for dine-in customers for the first time in 2 months. Taking a live look right now from Market Square Restaurant in South Paris, where the doors opened about half an hour ago. Regulars are there, and at other restaurants opening today, they're going to be noticing some differences. They are only allowed 20% capacity. You must maintain social distancing while you're waiting. And Governor Mills' order requires you to wear a mask until you are seated. Many restaurants say they're still figuring out how all the new rules work and the protocols.
It's the beginning of returning to getting closer to what will be normal. And, really the customer decides that. All our efforts is to deliver what the customer, their expectations.
Some restaurants are offering customers the option of using plastic silverware and disposable cups, and many are continuing to offer takeout or curbside even if they didn't before the coronavirus.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Cuomo announces he tested negative for COVID-19. Governor Cuomo is holding a press briefing of coronavirus updates right now in New York. Governor Andrew Cuomo announced on Monday that he has tested negative for COVID-19. He took the test during his press conference on Sunday. Key indicators of hospitalizations and ICU patients remain down. 106 people died from coronavirus on Sunday. Cuomo said the state's capital and western region are qualified to reopen based on metrics and phase is in restricting. And if you want to watch that press briefing, just go to ABC7NY to see that press briefing. Carjacking suspect arrested after car chase led to shooting, barricaded in D.C. home. Let's take a listen to that video from WJLA ABC 7.
And we want to get back to that breaking news out of D.C. and Prince George's County this morning. Police just took a man into custody after a series of carjackings. Now, several parts of Pennsylvania Avenue are closed right now, and this is one stretch between Fort Davis Drive and Fort Davis Street in Southeast. And Good Morning Washington's Kristen Powers is on the scene. She's been there since 5 this morning. So, Kristen, what do we know right now?
Melanie, well, as you said, we know that the suspect was taken into custody, so the barricade that was ongoing is now over. However, still a pretty active scene here in Southeast D.C. Police, though, starting to clear out. I'm on Southern Avenue by Belt Road in the Southeast. Now, police are saying that this started around 2 this morning, so it's been going on for a long time. This is the result of multiple carjackings across several different jurisdictions within both Maryland and D.C. Police say that's when there was a police chase and the suspect crashed near Alabama Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue in Southeast. And police say that's when both police and the suspect shot their guns. It's unclear who shot first, but police do say that D.C. and Maryland officers shot their weapon. The suspect then ran into a home on the 3900th block of Pennsylvania Avenue. Police say there were people in the home, but they were able to get out. And now the suspect is in custody. Police say they entered into the home. No guns were fired at the time, but they did say the suspect suspect at some point did get a gun wound. So the suspect, he is now at the hospital. We saw an ambulance taking him there. 2 guns were found, we're told, on the suspect. One in the car that the suspect crashed, and the other one at the home where the suspect was barricading himself into. So police still have a lot to do in this investigation, although this scene is starting to clear here in Southeast D.C. Of course, as we learn new details, we'll bring those straight to you. But for now, in Southeast D.C., I'm Kristen Powers for Good Morning Washington. Back to you. All right.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. North Carolina reports 511 new COVID-19 cases, 2 deaths as testing continues to hit daily goal. Here is the latest update about COVID-19, the disease caused by the novel coronavirus in North Carolina. 11 o'clock a.m. update. North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services reported 511 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths, for a total of 19,023 cases and 661 deaths. North Carolina also reported 6,811 completed diagnostic tests, for a total of 255,755 tests of the tests reported Monday. 7.5% were positive. Local gyms prepare to reopen on Monday today in Florida. Gyms can open at 50% capacity starting today in Florida. With more on that, let's take a listen to that video from WPBF 25 News' Steve King.
Children will have to be temperature checked. Everybody that enters the facility will be temperature checked through a kiosk that we have. And then during dismissal, they'll be dismissed out at a completely separate door so we can minimize the crossover. Kids and coaches will be required to wash their hands and sanitize in between every rotation on every specific apparatus.
Also, USA Gymnastics is not allowing spotting for now. In Stewart, the owners of Diversified Therapeutics Health Studio have been getting ready the last few weeks in anticipation of a possible opening. They say staff will now wear masks, there will be more cleaning supplies around the fitness center, and trainers will work with clients in designated areas. In addition,
I'll be taking everyone's temperature upon entering the office, and no one will be allowed in if they have traveled to on a plane or been around anyone that's had coronavirus.
And at Boca Raton Body Fit Boot Camp,
when we exit the clients in the front are going to exit first, one at a time, giving themselves some social distancing. Then after that, the second row back here is going to exit one at a time. Once everybody's out, we lock the doors and we clean the entire facility again.
And while these facilities will practice social distancing, many are excited to be able to work out with others in person once again.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight, but I know when I come in here, it's going to be like gangbusters. My energy level, all of our energy level is going to be super high.
Now, to see more of the steps that local gyms and workout facilities are taking to stay safe when they reopen, you can visit our website, WPBF.com. Reporting in West Palm Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Downtown Los Angeles fire. Investigation continues into the massive explosion that injured 12 firefighters. An explosion at Hash Oil Manufacturing in downtown Los Angeles that sent firefighters running for their lives over the weekend is shifting toward a potential criminal probe, investigators say. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC7 California.
This morning after that horrific blast over the weekend in downtown LA.
And federal investigators are now being called in to help find out what caused this. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cotarobos is live for us in downtown once again with the very latest. I can't imagine how difficult it is for all those fire crews there, Mark.
Yeah, Brandy, Leslie, good morning again. We do have an update on the two firefighters who suffered the most severe burns in that fire. They're making major progress. They are both off the ventilators and are now breathing on their own. Behind us here at the fire site, we can show you the actual ladder that they were on as they made their escape. They were among the 12 injured, including those who became engulfed in flames. And yes, that terrifying moment caught on camera. The wall of fire seen shooting from the building as firefighters moved down the ladder. That fire broke out around 6:30 Saturday evening inside a business that supplies materials to make butane honey oil. I'm told the responding crews inside the building did not know at the time that the building was full of highly flammable butane canisters. They heard a loud hissing noise like a jet engine and got out as quickly as they could.
You see them crawling through a fireball, and it's gut-wrenching to watch. But they kept their wits about them. They did what they were trained to do. You can just imagine the heat, the temperature of what they're experiencing, the amount of pain they're probably going through at that moment. There's firefighters from across the country that are reposting that video on social media and saying, oh my God, because they can only imagine what that would be like. That's something that's going to take its toll, and it's something that you carry with you into your retirement and stays with you the rest of your life.
And we now know the ATF's National Response Team is being called out to help in what's shifting to a criminal investigation. They are experts in finding out the cause of the fire, though the work, often involving forensics in a lab, can take months to complete. Meantime, back out live, behind us is San Pedro Street in between 3rd and 4th. That remains shut down. Also behind us, a portion of Boyd Street where that fire actually occurred, and that is remaining closed as well. We were told indefinitely until this investigation is complete.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Wall Street really extends with Dow up 800 points. Stocks rallied on Monday, rebounding from losses last week as news from Moderna trial stoked optimism about the potential coronavirus vaccine. Estranged husband charged with murder of missing Florida mom, Gretchen Anthony. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Next tonight, the husband facing murder charges accused of killing his wife. Police now investigating texts sent from her phone saying she had an extreme case of COVID-19. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef.
Troubling details tonight in the disappearance of Florida mom Gretchen Anthony.
She was a wonderful person that didn't deserve any of this.
The 51-year-old last seen in late March. Her estranged husband David Anthony now charged with murder and kidnapping. A neighbor telling detectives she heard a blood-curdling scream from Gretchen's Jupiter townhouse March 21st. A woman yelling, "No, no, it hurts." According to this police affidavit, friends and relatives then received suspicious emails and texts from Gretchen's phone days later, saying she was at Jupiter Medical Center with an acute case of COVID-19 and on a ventilator.
At this point, everyone's saying, well, this is really strange, you know? So they called the police. Things didn't look right.
Police say the hospital had no record of Gretchen as a patient, but authorities finding her car in the parking lot. Security footage showing a taller white male exiting the driver's side by himself. Authorities say security footage from her townhouse garage also captured a tall male who looks directly at a camera and pulls it down. That man identified by a witness as David Anthony.
And Tom, David Anthony was tracked down in New Mexico. He was extradited to Florida on Thursday to face charges. Tom?
Ariel, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Thank you for watching this afternoon edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Have a great rest of your afternoon. I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.